Alright, so first and foremost, we give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. The honors to the elder apostles, Great Millstone, who rule well. Salutation, much love to you, Akim out there, pushing out this word of truth and sincerity. Salutation as well to the men, women, and children learning the truth and sincerity. But the brothers from Great Millstone Tampa Bay with another live stream, Lord, as well as edifying and exhorting to the hopeful elect. I'm that brother Osh.
Brother Mayim.
And we're just gonna go in the spirit. All right, so I want to start here in 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 50, but I'm gonna read it in the Good News translation. All right, so 2 Ezra 8:50 it says. I'm saying like the shit don't flip out.
Yeah, it is.
All right, but so 2 Ezra 8:50. Yeah, the people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance will suffer many things in the last days. In the King James version, it says great miseries. So those many things they're gonna suffer are those great miseries, man, horrors. All right, perilous times, horrific. So crazy times are coming. Savage times. Things that people have never seen on the face of the earth before. Pursuant to the time that they were struggle. All right, a time like never before. Even the Lord said that in Matthew chapter 24. He said it was going to be a time like no other, a time like never will be again. So this is the Lord's last judgment on the earth as a whole. You know what I'm saying? He flooded the earth once. He's gonna bring nuclear destruction for the second time. Go ahead, though. What you got?
Real quick. Where is it in Amos where it says the day of the Lord? Chapter 5. Yeah, chapter 5.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Yeah, there you go. This is Amos 5:18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." And that's the thing is the majority of the people on the earth, like the brother's just going into, are prideful, and yet they're still seeking for the Lord to return. They're still seeking, some type of reward when the Lord comes back. But they've been living here. Here it is. They've been living a prideful life. Okay, they've been living a prideful life. So as the scripture says, to what end is it for you? What is it going to profit you in the day of the Lord? And you've lived a prideful life, man. And the scriptures constantly say how the kingdom of heaven is going to be given unto the lowly, the humble, the meek. Okay, you even got these reggae guys that be saying that shit, man. So this isn't something hard to understand, man. This is easily understood, but yet people still want to live a prideful life because they're all about themselves. But what makes you think that the Lord, when He returns, He's going to be all about you, and you was never about Him? That's why you're going to dwell in torments, as it says in 2 Ezra chapter 9, man. You're gonna be how they word it in there, chapter 8.
Oh, okay. 2 Ezra chapter 8 said, it says 8:50. I just gotta go by. I say don't do it to yourself, Jake. I remember Edomites were out here cutting grass. Them disrespect. I was doing a video. Them motherfuckers passed right in front, blowing fucking grass over here. At least Jake had some decency. Right. Back in 2 Ezra 8:50, it said that the people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance will suffer many things in the last days.
There you go. Pride and arrogance. There you go, man. And that's something that's key with the Lord, because the Lord constantly describes the nations as a drop of a bucket. They are less than nothing, and then you Israelites, He counts you as a worm, man. Thou worm Jacob. So what do you have to be proud of, man? You ain't nothing. You nothing but a fart in the wind, man. The Lord will take your ass out in a split second. The Lord will take you out in your sleep. What can your pride do to stop that?
You have to be struck by lightning in the middle of the night. Right. No storm in sight. Yep. You just get struck by lightning. There was a video of a dude just recently getting struck twice, but somehow he survived. And he got struck once, started walking again, got struck again, and still survived. I'm like, damn, you know that shit hurt. Shit.
They got hella demons on
Yeah,
them
yeah,
shit.
bro. This dude, like, damn, that was punishment, bro. To get struck by lightning twice like that. He collapsed. He completely collapsed. But you know, that's the judgment can come that swiftly, bro. You walking up the alleyway in a lightning bolt, you know, from the Lord, get your ass. Go ahead. Oh, that was it. That was the second.
So let me.
I had something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Proverbs 16 and 18, to mention it earlier, says, this is in the Good News Translation, it says, pride leads to destruction and arrogance to downfall. We just read about both of those, pride and arrogance. That's why the people are going to suffer many things in these last days, man. But in the King James says, pride cometh before destruction and haughty spirit before a fall. So arrogance is a haughty spirit. Pompous look, you know. Pride.
I think it's in the Proverbs too, where it says the Lord will cause all the arrogancy to cease, or the pride of the arrogant, you know, something along those lines. You know, the Lord's getting ready to shut the mouths of a lot of you people, man, because a lot of y'all speak up against the Most High. A lot of y'all speak up, and in the way you speak up against the Most High, not only do you do it directly towards the Lord, but you do it indirectly by the prophets, man. By speaking up against the prophets, like this clown that came up this past week, and we'll gladly take we'll wear the badge of fools and bums.
He was just doing nothing but proving the scriptures.
Right, exactly. You know, and he was fulfilling his life. You know, and make great destruction come upon him and those like him, man. You know, because the Lord is getting ready to
well, hell, him and his loved ones. How about that? Because the Lord swallowed up people that came up against the men of the Lord and killed him and their whole families. So just because for him yapping away, now his whole family might die a horrible death. You know, get swallowed up in a sinkhole. You know,
that's what it says in 2 Ezra 9, man. You're gonna dwell in torments, man. You're gonna see your family die before you. All you prideful people out here, especially you Israelites. Okay, you have a power, man. Your power is Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, man. Yeah, you're proud and you worship wood and stone, man. You don't think the Lord is gonna bring straight up calamities to you, man? You don't think He's gonna take everything that you have right before your very eyes, man? And especially you men, you effeminate ass men. You're supposed to be the head of a household, man. And you over here following after your woman like a damn dog, man.
Simple.
Yeah, man.
Bitch.
Your kids all effeminate because you ain't a man. And that's right. You wonder why. Then you complain about how society is, but it's men like these effeminate ass faggots out here that are the problem, man.
Cause shit, now that I think about it, I talked back to my mom a couple times growing up. Now that I think about it, I never talked back to my pops. But going on to what the brother's saying, your kids back talking you, disrespecting you, if you even in the household. Right. But these niggas out here bending over backwards, and they're still proud as hell. You know, you a bitch, you a whole bitch to a bitch, you know, but you proud, you know. And that's another thing, man, that'll make a nigga, make a guy, you know, fall away from this thing, man. The woman. But let me get this real quick. Proverbs 13 and 10, it says, arrogance causes nothing but trouble. It is wiser to ask for advice. Yeah, man. There's a safety in the multitude of counselors, roughly paraphrasing. I think it's in the book of Sirach. There's safety in the multitude of counselors. Okay? Or you know, roughly paraphrasing. But, you know, where there's no wisdom, the people fail, man. Where there's no vision, the people fail. And so you gotta have a body, you know, that to do that. It's called the counselors' chambers, you know.
There you go. Because real quick, the vision is of the Lord. You know, the vision comes directly from Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, so there is wisdom in those visions. And real quick, on that, 2 Ezra 15, I'll start at verse 1 and read verse 2 just to make that point. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. And what's the prophecies, man? The visions that the Lord has revealed unto his men. And in these last days, not only do we, brothers, sometimes get visions, but we get the understanding of the visions that were written before time, man. And it says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and what? True. You see? So the words of these visions are faithful and true, man. So that, like the precept the brother just read, where there is no vision, the people perish, man. So if it wasn't for the prophets, all of Israel would be through right now, man. But see, the Lord has compassion on his people, on the remnant of his people, that is. Because the Lord is going to show wrath unto you that are not of his people. you know, the Israel of Israel is going to see the mercy, but you're not. You're going to be thrust out because 2/3 here in America are likened unto heathens, man. And a lot of you Israelites are going to be put to death, not only here in America but around the earth. Okay.
Yep. Great judgments is coming for, and it's what? Because you've been walking in pride, man. You refuse to come back to the Lord. You think you know what's better than what the Lord has to say. So guess what? Since you think you know better, then let's see if you know better when the shit hits the fan. And the only way to escape it is through worshiping Yahweh Shem outside.
Right.
We'll see where all that knowledge and, you know, what you think is knowledge is at then. All that shit going, even the scriptures say, even the mighty men, all right, men that go to war are gonna be crying bitterly. Right. Okay, so what's your punk ass gonna do? Shit.
The scriptures say the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, man. You know what you think you know don't mean shit. It's what can you prove through the scriptures, man.
And this is a court of law, you know.
Yep.
Alright, there it is.
But let me get you got something else?
No, I was just on 13, Proverbs 13.
Let me jump down to verse 5 then here in 2nd Ezra 15.
Yeah, you can jump. Yeah, keep going here.
It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." And when we read Sirach chapter 40, it tells us that these things are created for the wicked, man. Death, strife, calamities, okay? The sword, the famine, death, and destruction. All these things were created for the wicked, man. So these are the things that are coming upon the earth, and it's for the wicked, okay? Because it goes on to say, verse 6, "For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled," man. Okay, and this is why the Lord is getting ready to ramp things up, and He's already ramping things up, man. All right, tensions, you know, all over the earth are at all times highs, man. People getting shot down every other weekend.
Okay, mass murders again, right. Once again. Yeah. And they're not. I mean, they're showing it on the media, but they're not making a big fuss of it because they're concocting the formula behind the scenes. They about to come for your guns, yeah. You know, and they about to drop the hammer, man. Swear I was watching. I didn't finish it, but I was watching last night RoboCop. I was like, man, this is what Esau's about to do. You know, it's spiritual. You know, I've seen it before, but I was watching it with a spiritual eye last night. And Esau about to roll on you people, man. You don't even know what's coming, and it's coming for all you proud ass Americans, proud to be this, and even niggas are proud. You know, and they don't have necessarily be saying, you know, make America great again, nothing like that, but they proud in their. You know, like where we do camp at, there's nothing but proud niggas out there, man. Right. Niggas driving Lambos and, you know, Mercedes, AMG, yep. All kind of exotic shit, living in the high rise, proud as hell. All them people that come out of that building, proud as hell. And they come every Saturday, they gotta face the prophets of the Lord when they come out them doors. Yep. And they still proud. But that's why the Lord, and in a downtown area like that, oh man, y'all gonna be the ones to get it first. You know, when they lock down them cities, right. You in downtown, you too. Yeah,
they're in the city shall die of the famine. Huh? We just get, hey man, if you don't see that a famine is getting ready to come, and hey man, it's gonna get to the point where you can't afford to buy the food.
Yeah, fuck if it's food, you can't afford it. What you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
People gonna be invading one another.
Yep.
And then when the chip comes, what you gonna do then?
Yep. And they just came out with an article. It was either early today or late yesterday on RT News talking about the world food prices are going up again. So if things ain't rough already, it's getting ready to get rougher, man. Okay.
If you haven't noticed inflation yet, you will know that soon. Which
I think that's what 2nd Ezra 6 and 22 or 21. They shall think themselves to be in good case. No, maybe chapter 5. And I forget how it's worded, but kind of, you know, for the longest time, everybody thought they were doing good, man. Especially, you know, COVID hit.
16 and 21.
Oh, 16 and 21. Kind of. Yep, I'm right here.
You could just start at 17.
Kind of. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because that's how bad Ezra, the vision that Ezra saw, that's how horrible it was. The vision was so terrible that he was worried about himself. He was like, yo, how am I going to survive?
That trance. He was, oh, shit.
Right.
Going to spook.
Yep. Going to show you that Ezra's understood reincarnation. So he knew he would be back here in those days, man. To be if he was worried about himself in the last days.
Exactly. Because he literally saw himself in the last days.
Yep. Yep.
Right now, what we looking around at, birds chirping, airplanes flying, nigga with a blow dry or leaf blower, 4 pickup trucks. That's what he was seeing, and he saw the destruction. So not only did he saw what we've seen right now, he saw that it was a vision. So it was probably, when you dream and shit, it might feel like it's taking forever in the dream, but then when you wake up, it's like a quick little trailer. That's how you can remember it.
Right.
But he was able to write all that down, so that shit was intense. So he went from seeing all this shit, then the Jacob's trouble coming, and then the missiles.
Right.
He's seen all of that, and he's seen himself.
It says verse 18. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginnings of famine and great death. Jake, Jake got a job. It goes on to say, it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. And the beginning of evils, a lot of people think that this is bad times right now. Well, the beginning of evils is going to be when Jacob's trouble comes, man. Because what does the scriptures talk about in 2nd Ezra chapter 5? It says that when that witch shall hide itself, then shall evils multiply upon the earth, and inconsistencies increase, man.
2nd Ezra 5.
Yep. Around 22nd verse.
You people ain't seen nothing yet, man.
Right.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Things about to get horrendous out here. Look that word up, horrendous. Okay. Matter of fact, we'll do because Jake's lazy. They ain't gonna look it up. We'll do it for you. You ain't got no excuse. All right. This is the word on the online. It's not good. This is on the online etymology dictionary. It says horrendous, dreadful, fearful, terrible, to be shuddered at, to brisk with fear, shudder. So you motherfuckers be shaking out here, man. You motherfuckers be in a state of deep fear. The fear that you never thought possible. You know that Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street, where your nightmares come to life. That's what it's about to be, man. Freddy Krueger coming for your ass, man. That's Satan, because the Lord's about to unleash Satan completely to bring his wrath upon this earth, man. Before he allows him to shoot the missiles off. Which at the end of the day, it's the Lord doing it all.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Again, Ezra's still wondering, what's he gonna do in these days? It says, verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent forth as scourges for amendment. And again, referencing Ezra's or Sirach chapter 40, it said the scourge. It mentions it in verse 9. It mentions, or verse 10, it lists scourges are created for the wicked, man. Because a scourge is what? An ass whooping, man. Getting that fire put to your ass.
You get scourges as a punishment.
Exactly.
You get another word for it, stripes.
Right.
That's you getting scourged. How they used to do it with them whips, the cat of nine tails, whatever.
Right.
You scorch your ass.
Right. But see, that's the pride of these people. They're not going to learn. That's what it says.
Even Jake Cash held his whole life. The Lord give him mercy, show him mercy.
Wicked.
Oh God, they'll pray their way, try to pray their way. God, just deliver me this one time. I won't do this again.
Yep.
The Lord delivered them, and they go right back to their wicked ways.
Yep. And that's what the next verse says.
And real quick, that's what the Lord is bringing these scourges so you can amend it, change it, fix it, correct it.
Yep.
Jake don't give a damn though. Especially when they're told about it.
Yep.
Because one thing you know what you live through, and nobody else know exactly what your scourges are, but you know. So if you can't put two and two together, then hey, that's a strong delusion the Lord got on you, man. Yep. Go ahead though.
Said are sent as scourges for amendment, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
They don't give you shit. Jake don't care, man.
They don't consider.
They don't. Like again, going back to the Curious George that came up to camp this week, man. He don't consider, man. He did. That's why Scripture say, keep thy foot before that cometh in the mouth of the Most High. He's not even considering that he was doing evil. He thought he was right. He sincerely thought that he was right. He was like, you guys are fools. You guys are stupid asses. You dumb ass. All calling us out. Like if we were some niggas, he would never say that to niggas banging on the corner though, slinging rocks. He would never say that to them. Right. But he gonna say it to men reading Bibles. and then try to quote something to tell us, then say the Bible's BS, but then try to get us to read the scripture that he want to hear. Come on, man.
John 3:16.
Yeah, get the
Like, nigga,
fuck out of here, man.
You don't even have understanding of that, so why are we gonna read it?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's who these great judgments are coming for. Niggas like that, man.
Nope.
And we told him to his face, and he, you know, we're not scared of you people, man. We're gonna tell you what the judgment of the Lord is bringing.
Nope.
You like it? That's not our problem. They try to kill the prophets back then, so if you try to kill us, then so be it. You know. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, more. Yeah. Oh, you keep reading. Where you at?
Verse 21.
Okay.
Says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
There you go. That's the scripture you called for, man. They niggas think it's all peachy.
That's the beginning of evils, man. And you thinking yourself to be in good case. You thinking that your cryptocurrency and your investments that you've made these last few years, that shit's gonna prosper you. But here it is. Now things that you consume are gonna start to increase in price, and it's gonna get to the point, like it says in Revelation 6, where it's gonna be a penny for a
day's wage.
A day's wage, basically, for wheat and barley, man.
To eat.
Yeah, man. To get some food. It's gonna call. You're gonna have to work all day just to get a little bit of
just
food
to get a meal.
Right.
And that's the thing, because things are gonna get so bad, but it's gonna get to a point that you're gonna have the chip. Yeah. So all that is gonna come to a screeching halt anyway, because if you can't work, if you ain't got the chip, how they gonna pay you? They ain't gonna pay you with checks. They ain't gonna go direct deposit to what? You gotta have the chip. That's the direct deposit.
Yep. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So there ain't no escaping the judgment, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring a famine and a sword, man, upon the earth. Okay? There is something behind it. Why is he looking it down? That way. But all right. But it said, and it says, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, man. So again, there ain't no running from this, man. There ain't no escaping the day of the Lord. That's why when all you that are expecting it, once it comes, you're gonna realize that it's not what you expected, and you're gonna be trying to run for the hills, man.
You know, chapter 16.
Yeah, that's verse 22. You know, and you ain't gonna have no avenue, no escape route, man. You're gonna have to just endure it and go through it, and ultimately perish, man. Okay, because you've lived a wicked lifestyle and your hopeful works are fulfilled. So now these things must come down upon you, man.
And you didn't care, you know.
Yep.
You didn't care what the Lord had to say, and how the Lord gonna talk to you, man. You're gonna be he gonna show you things throughout your life, but most Jakes don't even pick up on it. We didn't even pick up on it. You know, it's something. Oh, God deliver me, but you don't really know. But how he gonna speak to you now is through his prophets. That's the mouthpiece of the Lord. The Lord's gonna speak to you through those crazy dudes, those fools.
Yep. Cool.
You know, so that's how the Lord gonna speak to you, man, through his servants. You know, he ain't gotta come down here to talk to you one-on-one. That's what he got servants for, man.
Yep. Well, here goes. Back in 2nd Ezra 15, verse 7 now, it says, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, man. And how is the Lord not holding his tongue? Well, he's sending his prophets out here to let you know. To let you know exactly what's getting ready to come for your punk ass, man. Straight up calamities. Shit that you ain't never even heard of, man. That you thought could never ever possibly happen, because the scriptures talk about far beyond what they ever looked for.
Strange calamities.
Yeah, man.
You people don't know what the Lord's about to bring out here, man. It's about to be Egypt 2.0. And when we got delivered from Egypt, there was apparitions, the plagues, all kind of things that people were dying from fear, bro. This was dying. So this is gonna happen again. People's gonna be so scared. You know, that's why I brought out the Freddy Krueger analogy, man. Your nightmares is about to come to reality. You know, your worst nightmare the Lord's gonna bring upon you, and it might not even be real. It might just be an apparition, a vision that you see that nobody else sees, and you bugging out. You're worse. You're what they call arachnophobia. You're scared of spiders, right? The Lord have you thinking there's 100,000 spiders on top of you eating you, and there ain't nothing there. Niggas like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude? And you just bugging out. That's people do that on drugs. You think the Lord can't do that to you? Shit.
Where's that at? Wisdom of Solomon, where it talks about they're gonna see in apparitions when it's talking about Egypt.
17, chapter 17, I believe.
Yep. You heard people were hearing in ancient Egypt
rushing waters.
Yeah, waters like it was sounding like fucking rapids outside your door.
Imagine that. And it's pitch dark. You can't see nothing. You can't even see your hand.
Yep.
That's how dark it was.
Yeah,
you could feel the darkness.
It's a darkness that could be felt, man.
Sheesh.
That's how bad. That's how bad
y'all
it
know the king of terrors, man. Y'all about to know him though. We know him. That's why we fear him. Y'all about to find out the hard way.
That's why it is like the scripture says. While it is seek ye the Lord while he may be found, because right now it's good to find the Lord because you finding out of his mercy. You finding of the merciful side of the Lord. Right now, if you wait till those doors of mercy are closed. And you try to find the Lord, the only thing you're gonna find out of the Lord is his wrath, man. You're gonna find out, like the brother just said, the Lord of terrors, man. Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna read it in the Good News translation. This is Wisdom of Solomon 17. I'll start at 1. It's and they preface it in the Good News translation. It says, "Terror strikes the Egyptians at night." There you go. Terror strikes the Egyptians at night.
And who the modern day Egyptians? You Americans, man. The spiritual Egypt.
Yep.
Okay.
And midnight is coming. You know, so
yeah, the sun's getting ready to set on America.
Yeah. Midnight's
coming. On this beast, you know.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 17:1. Oh Lord, and again this is in the GNT. Oh Lord, your acts of judgment are marvelous and hard to explain. But we can explain it because what the scriptures say it is plain unto the holy, but unto the wicked is stumbling blocks. Or and another one says that the wicked understand not judgment. They can't explain the judgments or say the work. It said your acts of judgment are marvelous.
Right.
When we see a little baby get hit by a bus, guess what? We look at the Lord and wow, that was a marvelous work. You know, but people are like, oh my God. No, that was a marvelous act of judgment that the Lord did, and it's plain unto us. But the wicked can't understand it, and they can't explain it because they don't understand the Heavenly Father. It says. That is why people who had not been taught about them went astray. Yeah. If you don't know about the Lord's judgments and you don't get taught about them, then you're gonna go astray. You're like, oh, this is like that. People, see the little baby dead in the street with a head bashed, brains out. We gonna be praising Yahweh Shem Yahshai. All right. Pursuing the book of Job, it says, "Whoever perished being innocent." Verse 2: When lawless people imagine that they had your holy nation in their power. These other nations, and that's what's going on again. They think they got us. Bro, the Lord allowed you to do this. It says, they themselves impersonated, they themselves, let me start again in verse 2. When lawless people imagined that they had your holy nation in their power, they were themselves imprisoned in a long night of darkness. Ancient Egypt, a long night of darkness. They lay in their own houses, should all from your eternal care. Yeah, because remember, while that was going on, there was still light for Israel. The Israelites are cool. They wasn't in darkness. They could see the moon. Because remember, it was the new moon actually, right?
Yeah,
the Passover. The Passover was the second week, so it was a full moon.
Full moon.
So they could see. They could see the full moon. It was giving them light. But it was pitch darkness for the Egyptians. So it was the Passover's 14th day, so it was full moon.
I think we'll go into it.
Okay. It said, verse 3 says, they thought that their sins had been secret and unnoticed, shielded from view by a dark curtain of forgetfulness.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of these people, man, your pridefulness had made you believe that the Most High don't see what you're doing, man. Yep. Like and it's get to the point to where y'all people actually have polluted your own mind to say that the Lord loves these things. The Lord loves Transformers. Right. The Lord loves bundles of sticks.
Yeah, mobiles.
Yeah. And come on, man. That's how crazy these people. You think the Lord don't see that shit, but the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all things, man.
And since they thought their deeds were in darkness and hidden, that's why the Lord brought complete darkness upon them.
Right.
you know, to hit them with the AI. You thought you was in darkness? Boom! Here you go. You know how afraid these people would be out here if it went pitch dark? Shit. No street lights, no moon, nothing. Just darkness.
Street lights can be on all you want.
Yeah.
You still ain't gonna see them.
Nothing. You're not gonna see nothing.
Right.
It say verse 3 again, it says they thought that their sins had been secret and unnoticed, shielded from view by a dark curtain of forgetfulness, but now they were but now they were horribly afraid. Horribly afraid. Terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, these people out here, man, and we say, we laughing because scriptures say we're gonna be laughing, but it's shit's gonna be crazy out here, man. People gonna be horribly afraid, confused, and terrified by ghostly forms. That's them spirits.
Apparitions.
Them apparitions, them spirits is gonna be fucking with these people, man. Ghostbusters, you know that movie Ghostbusters? Exorcism of Emily Rose, all these horror films, that shit is about to be reality. Those are demons that these directors see and their visions are conjure up and then, reenacted in the movie. That shit is about to be real, man. People bug out off of drugs, and the Lord's just you're gonna be sober as hell, when the shit hits the fan. Even if you drunk, you're gonna get sober quick, and then the Lord's just gonna start bringing plaguing you out, giving you the plague of the heart. It says, verse 4, not even the dark corners where they lay could protect them from fear. Yeah, you hold up in the corner of your room, in the bed, that can't help you because you're going to be getting tormented. They were surrounded by horror.
That's how those psychiatric patients be.
Yeah, in the corner, talking to themselves. Hey, this shit's real. They call them schizophrenias.
Yep.
Schizophreniac, or tripping out. He was hallucinating. Nah, they're not hallucinating.
They seeing that
They
shit.
seen that shit. If we're reading about it, let me keep going though. It says they were surrounded by horrible noises. And this is where it talks about the rushing waters, right? Horrible noises, grim ghosts with gloomy faces appeared before their eyes. These are mental patients. People would call them mental, but they're crazy. They're schizos.
And just think about it too. A lot of these Americans are all already on drugs.
Yep.
So imagine when they can't even get those drugs in their mind, so used to being on it.
Yep, gonna be tripping.
That they're gonna be bugging out.
Withdrawing, shitting on themselves.
Yep.
Just from the withdrawal, they're gonna be shitting on themselves. So what happens when they start to see them spirits?
Because their mind isn't gonna be suppressed anymore. It's gonna be fully open to these things, man. Just like the mind of the prophets and the elect is being opened up to the
right hand side.
Yeah,
they're gonna be opened up to the left hand side. Yep. Since you wanted to indulge your life in the left hand side, well, that's what you get in the last days.
Yep.
We're gonna get, Lord's will with those men, we're gonna get indulged in the right hand side in the last days.
Yep.
Verse 5, Wisdom of Solomon 17:5 says, no fire had power to give them light. No lights are gonna work, bro.
That's what I'm
fire,
saying.
nothing.
Hey, you can light a fire in your house. You still ain't gonna see that fire.
It says, and the brilliant stars could do nothing to relieve that deathly darkness. God, it says deathly darkness, bro. That's how bad it was, man. It was a deathly darkness.
Yep.
Just imagine that it's pretty much you blind.
Right.
You can't see nothing. Everything is darkness.
You're gonna be put in if you want some practice now, you better start going to those sensory deprivation tanks and get a good feel for.
Yeah, because you might trip out in there too.
Yeah, exactly. Because those
if you
chambers,
can't make it in there, you ain't gonna make it in
Right.
the next days.
Those chambers, what they do is it's completely sealed off and soundproof, so you can't
Salt
hear
water.
anything.
Yeah. Super dense salt water.
Yeah, you can't see. It's completely pitch black in there. And they put you in a water with salt in it that is, it puts like 800 pounds of salt in the water.
Yeah,
and
it's
it makes
more
you
salt
float.
than water, then, because you pretty much float.
Yeah, it makes you float, so you lose all sense of feel because you're basically floating in the water.
Yeah, sensory deprivation takes.
Yep. You go in those, man, and you get a glimpse of what's gonna happen.
You won't hear nothing. You won't see nothing.
Yep.
You won't feel nothing.
Except you won't be hearing shit.
Yeah. Your mind's gonna be playing tricks on you.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Back in verse 6. Verse 5, Wisdom of Solomon 17:5. No fire had power to give them light, and the brilliant stars could do nothing to relieve that deathly darkness. There was only a dreadful fire, lit by no human hand, that shone on them. And in their terror, they believed that the real world was even worse than the things they imagined. So they was bugging. They was like, no, They didn't even know what was real anymore. They didn't even know it was real, bro.
Right, like that movie Inception.
Yep.
Where they were in that damn dream state so long that they started to believe that was the real world.
Yep. But it was so. They said the real world. It's here said that they thought the real world was worse than what they were seeing. So that's how bugged out they're gonna get, man. That's who people going. Man, you people can bug out. Verse 7, it says the illusions produced by their magic tricks were put to shame, and all the wisdom they had boasted of came to nothing. Yeah, so because they had magites, they had their little warlocks, and all that shit came to naught because they can't. Once that look, the Lord, because the Lord, even when Moses and Aaron went to do all those miracles, told let my people go, and they would do miracles every time, right? And they would recreate them. The serpents, the red water, the frogs. It got to the point where the lice, that was the last, that's where the Lord drew the line. And after that, it just kept, they couldn't create nothing else. They couldn't recreate anything else. So like I said, it's going to come to naught. Because they were boasting, oh look, Pharaoh, we can do it too. But it was never on the same level. But they were just recreating it. But that was the power on the left-hand side. But the right-hand side has more power. All right? So like I said, the scripture said it's going to come to nothing. Let's say go into your how's it go? Your prognosticators. Damn, how's it go? It's escaping me right now. But pretty much, go into the
monthly procrastinators.
Yeah, now, but it's worded one like I say is that's gonna fail them roughly. I can't think of it.
See, they shall deliver you in that.
Nah, it's not that. But anyway, it'll come back to me, Lord's will. Verse 7, Wisdom of Solomon 17 verse 7 says the illusions produced by their magic tricks were put. Oh, I already read that. Verse 8, they had claimed they could drive away all the fears and illness of sick minds, but now they themselves were sick with silly, groundless fears. It's gonna come to a time where all shit gonna fail them, man. All right, the soothsayers, all that shit, the witchcraft, all that shit's gonna fail them because Satan ain't gonna be nowhere to found.
That's what it says in Isaiah 19. The Lord shall mingle perverse spirit in the midst thereof and cause every work, and cause the spirit of Egypt to fail in the midst thereof, man. And every work to basically not be nothing that you're gonna do is gonna work, man. Yep. You're gonna try to escape these things, but it's not gonna work.
And a lot of it. Well, not a lot of it, but some of these things what we're specifically reading about when that darkness fell upon Israel,
right,
or the Egyptians, all right, when they were getting tormented and shit here in the rushing waters, like we just read, all those things, nothing was actually happening to them. Right. So let me keep going. Verse 9, even though nothing dangerous had actually happened, they were terrified by hissing snakes and animals advancing on them. So nothing was fucking with them. They were just the senses was fucking them up. They couldn't see. The noises was fucking them up. Right. They're terrified. Yep. Shit. That's why people are afraid of the dark. Yep. Says and so they died, shaking with fear, afraid even to open their eyes, yet unable to keep them shut. Because it didn't matter whether you closed them or not, because it was complete darkness. Yeah. And hey, the Most High gonna bug you people out. Yep. That's right. I keep reading. I'll read down to the end of the verse or the chapter. Okay. Yeah, we see. You got battery left still? Yeah. Verse 11 it says wickedness. That's what I get. Yeah. Verse 11. Wickedness is cowardly in itself, and stands self-condemned. Someone with a guilty conscience will always imagine things to be worse than they really are.
There you go, and that's the thing is your conscience is gonna
make
kill
it worse.
Your conscience is gonna what's the word it's gonna convict you in that day. You're gonna feel convicted because you're gonna know that these things are happening to you because you ain't lived the righteous life. See, that's why the scriptures tell those that believe in the Lord to not doubt, man, to know that the Lord is not unrighteous, to forget your labor of love towards Him, man. That's why the men of the Lord are going to be good because we ain't going to have that guilty conscience on us, man. Because we're not going to doubt in the Lord, man.
We've been set free from that,
But the majority of people out here, man, you modern day Egyptians, you don't have the Lord on your side, man. So you're going to doubt. Your life is going to hang in the balance, man. And you're gonna be so convicted that these things are just gonna bug you the hell out, man. When your family starts dying around you, you're gonna start twitching and bugging out
and that's when it's become actual dangers around you. Because there's gonna be a day that nothing's happening to you, just bugging out, and then the next day the niggas is dying next to you. Your son his guts is hanging out. You know, yeah, we trying to make it gory for you, man, so you get a picture of what's coming. Child's guts hanging out, brains bashed in the streets. All right. If you ain't seen blood, you can go on gore.com or something if that shit's even still up. Or you ready to go watch some gory videos, man. Get desensitized to death. Okay, because death, you know, it's cringy at times, you know. But hey, me and this brother, we watch that shit for pastime at this point. You know, we'll watch a nigga get decapitated with a rusty machete. You know, hey, you gonna see worse things than that. That's what the point is. You can't handle it on a video. How you gonna handle it in front of you? Right. That'll make you get the chip real quick if you ain't got the spirit on you. You see a nigga get butchered in front of you. Yeah, if you ain't got the spirit in faith, you gonna fold quick. A nigga get butchered in front of you. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let me keep reading it back in Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse. I'll start back in verse 11. Wickedness is cowardly in itself. Damn. Wickedness is cowardly in itself, man. So you being wicked, you're a coward. Because you don't have the courage, the character to be a right, upright man.
Right. Because there comes a. It's not easy to serve righteousness.
You gotta be stoic, you know, so to say. You know?
You can't. You're not brave enough to endure the true hardness as a soldier, man.
You can't fight the flesh, man. You give into it.
Right. See, they like to say that about the military. You don't want to join the military because you're a coward. You don't want to fight for your country. Well,
you don't want to fight for the Lord.
Yeah, we fighting for the Lord, man. Right. You know, and it ain't easy. But y'all wanted to do wickedness, which is a daily thing. Which being wicked, man, gave you freedom from righteousess. Okay, then it was easy.
It's the coward's way out. That's what the scripture says. It's the coward's way out. Read that in the King James, though, verse 11. See what it says. It's been a minute since I read it in the King James. You want to go?
Yeah, a little bit. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, and it reads, that glass bottle water.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, and verse 18, or verse 11, it says, "For wickedness condemned by their own witness is very timorous."
So wickedness is condemned by their own witness. So in English, in modern day terms, to say wickedness is cowardly, because it's gonna. Well, it keeps going to say in itself and self-condemned. Go ahead, finish that verse.
Yep. It says, is very timorous and being pressed with conscience, always forecasting grievous things. So you people are you're going to be expecting the worst, man, and it's going to be far beyond what you're looking for, because it's going to be worse than what you thought.
Through it. You know, when you're going through it, you're going to think you're going to make it worse. Your mind's going to make it worse than what it actually is.
Yep. And that word timorous, it means fear, dread, apprehension, anxiety. You see, and a lot of people suffer from anxiety already.
So horrendous. Yeah, like we read earlier.
You know, anxiety is expecting the worst. People always expecting the worst. Yeah. They have to take medication for that shit.
Yeah. Antidepressants. That's what they call it. Anti-wickedness.
It's a Xanax. They take Xanax for that shit.
You want an anti-drug, or you want a pill? Take the anti-wickedness pill. Right. All right, the pill of righteousness. Which is spiritual, you know. We're not condoning taking no. Actually, I don't even take Tylenol. So, you know, brothers do what they want, but I don't fuck with none of that Esau shit, man. I'd rather Google a herb that does the same thing. Right. But I'll keep reading on now. Back in the Good News translations, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12. Fear is nothing but the failure to use the help that reason gives. And in this case, what is reason? The scriptures. That's how we're reasoning with. We're reasoning with the scriptures. Right. These people ain't gonna have the scriptures. They ain't gonna comfort them. The scriptures say knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of their time. They're not gonna have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures.
And that's in Daniel's chapter 12, I believe, around the end of the chapter, it says that the wise shall understand, but the wicked shall do wickedly and shall not understand. Yeah, so you're gonna continue to do wicked, and you're not gonna understand why these things are happening, because you don't have reason with you, man. But your guilty conscience is gonna be there, and it's gonna make things a whole lot worse for you than they really are.
And you're gonna be eaten from the inside out. Yep. That wickedness is a parasite in your mind. You don't even know it.
Right.
Verse 13. When you lack the confidence to rely on reason, you give in to the fears caused by ignorance. Because they don't know, you don't know what's going on. So you're going to give it in, you're going to give in to what's happening. Because you don't know what's happening. You don't know it's the wrath of the Lord.
Right.
You don't know that the Lord's bringing judgment. Because you haven't been serving him. So we're going to be good. We're going to be okay because we understand what's happening. They're going to be caught like a thief in the night, though.
Right, because the Lord said that He's giving us an expected end. See, it said there that in the King James it says in the expectation from within being less. So meaning you have a less expectation of why these things are happening.
Because they're ignorant.
Yeah, exactly. But we have an understanding. The minute of the Lord, those who are part of that number, we have our expectation is that these things are going to happen upon the earth. But that for those that serve the Lord in truth and sincerity, these things are not going to come. So we understand why these things are going to be happening to you. But you're not going to be understanding it because you don't have no expectations. Your expectations are failing you because this world is failing.
In verse 14, all night long those people slept the same restless sleep, even though the night held no power over them, since it came from the powerless depths of the world of the dead. That's pretty much the point I wanted. Yeah, that was the point. Yeah, verse 13 was the last point I wanted. And the GNT, unless you got anything in the King James.
Yeah.
April's album.
Okay. I'll read a couple verses. Starting at verse 14, Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 14 in the King James. It says, but they sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their hearts failing them, for a sudden fear and not looked for came upon them. Yeah, and the scriptures constantly talk about men's hearts failing them for fear of things happening upon the earth, man. And this is a part of it, man. The things you're going to be seeing and feeling.
It's not even going to be real. Niggas going to be dying from shit that's not even real.
Yeah.
You're going to be plagued. The plague of the heart. Yeah. Give me, the Lord's, or the scriptures say, give me any plague with a plague of the heart. This is your mind. And that's what this apparitions come from. This is a mental disability, as they call it, to 2023. Go ahead.
It says...
or it's like not a mental disability, a mental sickness. Shit. Because you got something wrong with you, you sick. And not disability, no, nigga, you sick. Let's keep it real.
Yep. And that's why these things are going to happen to you, man, in darkness, because you've walked in darkness. Yep. Those that have walked in the light are going to be in the light, man. Okay? And I'm going to skip down to verse 20. It says, for the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them only will spread in heavy light. So who are the ones that are going to be in the clear, that the clear light is going to be shining upon? Is the elect, man. Those are going to be in the clear light, because now the Israel that's going to get delivered, and this new Passover that's getting ready to come is the elect, man. The election and no other. Okay? So it says, for the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them only will spread in heavy night an image of that darkness, which should afterwards receive them, bringing your death. But yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness. So and that's the thing.
You're gonna be your worst enemy,
right? And hey, people around you are gonna be your worst enemy. Evils are gonna be multiplying upon the earth, man. And it's gonna be a dark time upon the earth. That's why it says the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Then what was about to happen here in the modern day age is gonna be worse than what happened in ancient Egypt.
Right, exactly.
A lot worse.
A day like no other. Yep. The scripture say, you quoted it earlier, Matthew 24. And again, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. To what end is it for you? You that desire the day of the Lord, man. The day of the Lord is darkness for you wicked, man. But for the ones that are in the light, there's going to be a guidance unto them. Because the scriptures even tell you that in 2 Ezra 16, man. The Lord is a guide of them that fear them. And how is he guiding them? With the light, man. Because the light is shining upon them, just like the chariot was a light unto Israel in the wilderness.
A pillar of cloud by day and a light at night, or pillar of fire by night and the cloud by the day.
Yep. And that's what the Lord is getting ready to do all over again here in these earths. Except it's going to be worse than you could ever imagine.
Yeah,
man.
And remember who was that in that cloud?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I was shy, man. But that's pretty much it. So Lord's with us was edifying. We want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, who are diligently pushing out this truth and sincerity. That we say shalom.
Shalom.